Hello everybody.
Hello.
Welcome. We're not doing any shoulder stuff today, like literally nothing.
Great.
Today's class is called LEG Day. So basically it's just a class that is kind of similar to Chelsea's in that we're not really on the hands or the arms so much. I'm really working into the integrity of the legs, which for me is deeply connected to the spine. So coming from the background of a dancer, I spent a lot of time in my body and in my spine. And I didn't really have a connection to my legs at all, to be honest. So once I finished dancing and I came to yoga and I did my first Warrior 1, Warrior 2, I was like, oh, I have no leg strength. So this class kind of helps to integrate the legs to support the spine. The theme for today's class is irrelevance. I think what me and Chelsea have been talking about and experiencing in our personal practices and in our life is that when the sun goes down, we tend to reach for things for comfort and support. And Chelsea has talked to me about resourcing and how like we can resource and that it's not a bad thing. But I think just noticing when we tend to resource, especially in isolation, because when the sun goes down and we don't have anyone to connect with, I tend to feel a little disconnected, and that's when I tend to resource. So today in the practice, how we're going to integrate this theme, I tend to find that a goal-oriented practice or an achievement-oriented practice takes me out of my internal state and disconnects me with the body. So today's offering and invitation is to be in process, to allow yoga to be a vehicle of expression. So each pose allows you to express what is already within the body, and that allows us to be present, and that kind of really gives my practice purpose each and every day. Alrighty, so we're going to begin with an Om. So let's just make some noise together. When you're ready, comfortable seat, close down your eyes. Take a moment to feel into the body, into the breath. The offering today is to allow the practice of yoga to be a vehicle to express what is already within the body. That can be comfortable, that can be uncomfortable, it can be tired, it can be vital. But being present in order to give our practice purpose. Letting go of the need to achieve and being in process. When you're ready with the least amount of effort, come to lay flat on your belly. You know, we love to start a class in crocodile. Like literally every class I've taught for the past 4 weeks. So once you come to lay flat on your belly, just separate the legs a little bit, allow the heels to drop into the center, and just breathe into the belly. Notice if you're clenching in the shoulders and the face. Feel the relationship between the belly and the earth. Really taking this opportunity to drop into the body. To notice how the breath inhabits the physicality. Where you feel the breath on the inhale. Where you feel the breath on the exhale. And just noticing what is calling to be felt in the body. Alright, we're going to start to activate through the legs and connect it to the spine just a little bit. So you should bring your feet to parallel, and actually let's just begin with your heels touching so we're nice and active through the legs. Just want you to bend the right knee so the foot moves in the direction of the sky. The foot moves in the direction of the sky. So you have a 90-degree bend in the right knee. From here, I want you to try to tuck the pelvis under, and you'll notice that your right thigh becomes heavier, yes? So once you've tucked your pelvis under and the thigh becomes heavier, I just want you to try using the glute and the hamstring to reach the right foot towards the sky, directly up. So this is not a back bend. Tuck the pelvis under, so you're kind of squishing the genitals into the mat. And then you squeeze the right glute and hamstring. As you draw the foot up, also draw the knee away from you. So there's length and energy. Should feel an activation in the glute and the hamstring. Take 3 breaths here. Notice if there's tension in the upper body. Can you allow that to soften? And when you're ready, extend the right leg long. Just take a moment to rock the hips from side to side. Just awakening through the glutes and the hamstrings. Second side bend into the left knee. Now tuck the pelvis under and notice that the left quadricep gets heavier. Yeah? This means we're going to have to use the muscles rather than the lower back to lift the leg. From here, reach the left foot directly up towards the sky, keeping that tuck in the pelvis. Doesn't matter how high you lift your leg. As you send the foot high, send the left knee away from you. And you can work as hard or as soft as you would like. This is your practice, your process. Awaken what feels right for you. 3 breaths. And then when you're ready, extend the left leg long, reach the right arm forward and roll onto your back. Oh. Bend your little knees. And just send your right leg to the sky like a hamstring stretch without your hands. Press your hands down to the earth. Alrighty, so we're going to find compression between the leg and the body. So using your muscles, just draw the leg towards you. Just notice, has your pelvis tucked under? Do you have space in your lower back? So I want you to come into the natural lower back curve. Heavy through the tailbone. Use the muscle of the quadricep and the lower abdominals to draw your leg towards you. Muscles of the quadricep, the front of the thigh, and the lower abdominals to draw the leg towards you. Keep this compression and then draw really small circles. And you'll find that some parts of the circle are easy and some parts are a little more difficult. So notice, when you compress the leg, do you become really tense through the upper body? Can you allow the work to just stay in the legs? I notice in my personal practice that when I am in intensity through the legs, I tend to become tight in the upper body. So just change direction with the legs. Just stirring the thigh bone in the hip socket to warm up through the leg. Alright, we're going to do some Jane Fonda aerobics kicks. So this time your spine and pelvis is going to move. Go down and up and down and up and down. Yeah, so just kind of warming the leg. Just breathe into the front of the hip as it lowers. There's no rules for this one. Your pelvis and your spine is going to move. Just come to a place that feels good. So for me, it feels good to move the spine and pelvis a little bit and just to feel into the front of the hip and the hamstring. And to feel absolutely fabulous as well. Okay, we're going to take a stretch. So when you're ready, just bring the hands to the back of the leg and just find a stretch. Whatever hamstring stretch feels good. I'm just moving my leg around a little bit to explore. You can rub the legs, that can be nice. Sometimes it's really nice to rub the hamstring.
Well, my hamstring feels sore. Does yours feel sore from yesterday?
Yeah, mine feels a little sore as well.
I don't know what we did, but it's sore.
Release your right foot down and then left leg high. So we're going to come into that same compression. So just compression. Keep the tailbone heavy, the lower back neutral, and draw the left thigh towards you. Yeah. Really activate the muscle. You can point or flex the foot, whatever feels right, and then start to draw your circles. So as you draw the circles, notice if there is a part of the circle that feels a little bit sticky. Sometimes the circle looks more like an octagon or a triangle or a square. That's okay. Change direction. Really finding that compression, using the thigh, using the lower belly. And then we'll take those Jane Fonda kicks, down and up. So I kind of feel a little bit of a stretch when I go down, breathing into the frontal hips a little bit, and then full compression as I come up. And this is dynamic, yeah? This is not supposed to be like really soft, it's supposed to be a little kick. There's movement in the spine, movement in the pelvis, unless you're like really open. We'll take 3, we'll take 2, we'll take 1, and then we'll stretch. Any stretch that feels good. Alrighty. Plant the feet down. We're just going to activate the legs now a little bit more. So we're going to come into a bridge. Just trust the sound of my voice. You don't need to look at the camera. Lift your pelvis up towards the sky. Hands to hip bones, tuck the pelvis under. You know the drill. Activate the legs, dig the heels. And from here, bring the weight into the left leg and reach the right leg straight forward. Take it up towards the sky. And then draw the leg as close towards you into compression like we've been doing. Yeah? Now bring your left thumb to your butt and your right index finger to your hamstring and draw them closer together. So butt towards hamstring, hamstring towards butt. Dig the heel and compress the right leg a little bit more. hold for 3, hold for 2, and drop it down. Stay lifted, weighting to the right heels, and lift the left foot forward, and then up. Compress. Right thumb to butt, right index finger to hamstring. Now draw those 2 points closer towards one another. Compress the left quadricep towards the lower belly. Pressy, pressy, hold for 3, hold for 2, and drop the foot down. Those quivering breaths. Like, oh. Draw the knees in towards the chest and round the forehead towards the knees. Oh. Fall to the side and press yourself up. That was fun. Nice and different to awaken the legs.
Oh, my pen.
This pen's falling everywhere. Okay, we're just going to come into a cat-cow. So inhale to open the spine, and then exhale to round. And just notice when we warm the legs, as a result, usually the spine is a little bit warm as well. An opportunity to do whatever you need to do through the wrists. We're not taking so much in the shoulders and the arms today, but it can feel nice just to warm the upper body. Perhaps you'll derobe. Alrighty. From here we're going to transition into a squat. So just step both of your feet forward to the top of the mat. So if for you a squat isn't available with the heels grounded, just bring the hands to the earth and lift the heels up. This can be a nice variation. If it feels alright for you to ground the heels this early morn, you're welcome to do so. Draw the triceps into the thighs, thighs into the triceps. Tailbone down, crown high, and close the eyes. So today's practice, we kind of move through a lot of different transitions. These transitions I cannot fully do and have been a real process for me. So rather than focusing on the end goal or perfecting everything that we do today, just allow yourself to come along for the ride. Being curious, being open, being playful. When you're ready, hands to earth, butt to sky. Walk the feet just a little bit closer. Bend the knees and just sway the torso from side to side, relaxing the head. So you're pouring the weight into one heel, pouring the weight into the other heel. Settle somewhere in the center, bend the knees, roll up through the spine for 3. Roll up for 2. Roll up for 1. Draw the hands to heart center, close your eyes, bow your head. During this time of isolation, when we set ourselves a lot of goals, when we want to achieve, do we become fixated? Do we become attached? For today, can you let that go? Today's practice is about being in process. Using the practice, the yoga, as a vehicle for expression. And just noticing what bubbles up to the surface in that process. Take a deep breath in. A deep breath out. And gently release the hands beside the body, open the eyes. I'm going to come into Surya Namaskar C, a little bit of a different variation. So I want you to ground through the left foot, draw the right thigh towards the chest. Standing nice and tall, so find that compression, and then take your right hand to your outer hip. Just kidding, reach your right hand high. Draw your left hand to your outer hip. Okay, from here you're going to keep that left outer hip drawing in. I just want you to come into like a mini warrior 3. So take the leg back, Nice. Reach the arm forward. From here, draw the outer left hip in a lot. The weight comes into the heel. Now bend the left knee, almost like you're in a full lunge. Beautiful. Reach your right toes back, and then very, very lightly step the right toes down. Both hands to earth, step back, downward facing dog. So coming in and out of our flow, we're going to work on this kind of mini warrior 3 lunge shape. This is our first downward facing dog, so just take a few breaths here. Beautiful. Bend your knees, butt towards your heels, and then wave your spine forward to a high plank. Back heart leads like it's reaching forward into the sky. Beautiful. And we're really using our legs today, so I want you to imagine the belly of the thigh was moving up towards the sky. Bring the pubic bone towards the chest. Press the hands down, lean forward, and then gently drop the knees. Beautiful. Keep the tuck of the pelvis, and then just slowly lower down into the belly. Hands come to just outside the mat. Lift yourself up to a cobra. Draw your ears up towards, your shoulders up towards your ears, and then back towards one another, and then slide them down. Let's just do another circle like that. So draw your shoulders up towards your ears, back towards one another, and then slide them down. Like you're grabbing handfuls of earth, pull the earth back towards you and reach the chest forward. Really activate your little leggies. And come down. Downward facing dog. Straight away you're going to center through the left foot and reach the right foot high. Curl the right thigh in towards the chest, step the right foot forward. Take the right hand to the outer hip and reach the left arm forward. It's like an arrowhead. From here you might step the back foot in just a little bit or tip the weight forward and float the left toes. Keep the bend in the right leg so you're almost in a lunge shape, and draw the outer right hip in and back. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, dig the right heel down, lift all the way up, stork pose, both hands to sky, and drop the foot down. Hands to heart. Inhale, reach the hands high. Exhale, right hand to right hip, and draw the left knee towards the chest. All right, let's come into the second side. So you're slowly going to transition into a mini warrior 3. It's really crucial to draw this outer right hip in, and then bend the right leg until you're almost in a lunge. Spark through the fingertips. Foot reaches back, weight into the heel, and then very lightly step the foot down. Nice, hands to earth, downward facing dog. Bend both knees, wave the body forward, high plank. All right, option to lower the knees down or keep them lifted. I want you to imagine hamstrings towards the sky, yeah? So belly of the thigh lifts, heels reach back, you'll feel the legs, and now come halfway down. Your back bend, either cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Just notice if using the legs makes a difference for you in chaturanga. Center through the right foot, reach the left leg high. Curl the thigh in. Step forward. Left hand to outer hip, right hand reaches forward. Weight into the left heel. Become light on the right toes until they hover. Stay in that lunge through the left knee. Draw the outer hip in. Beautiful, and then when you're ready, slowly lift up. Stork pose, both hands to sky. And both hands to heart. We're going to flow that now. Inhale, reach the hands. Right thigh to chest, left hand to butt. Slowly, mini warrior 3. Now bend that left knee as much as you can. And then gently step back, both hands to earth. Downward facing dog. Bend knees, wave forward. your flow strong through the legs. Center through the left foot, reach the right leg high. Curl thigh into chest, step foot forward. Right hand to outer hip, left hand forward. Float back toes. Keep the bend in the right knee. Lift thigh towards the chest, both hands high. Lower the foot down. Hands soft. Inhale, reach the hand. Left thigh to chest, right hand to outer hip. Take it back. Bend the right knee as much as you can. Reach from fingertips to toe. Weight is in the heel. Step the toes back. Downward facing dog. Bend the knees, wave the body forward. Belly of the thighs lift, heels reach back, chaturanga. Your back bend. Mean down dog. Center through the right foot, reach the left leg high. Thigh to chest. Right hand forward, left hand to outer hip. Lean forward, keep the bend in the left knee. Find the strength. Stork pose. Both hands high. Beautiful. Lay down both hands to heart center. Flatten your palms against your chest. Close down your eyes. Feel into the rhythm of your heartbeat. Feel into the breath. Release your hands down. Just take a little step back. So something that we don't do a lot of in yoga is footwork. So we're going to do some footwork, yeah? Reach your hands high. Point your left foot forward. Beautiful. So I want you to point like you're a ballerina. So you're really extending all the way down to the tip of the left toe. And you might get a little crampy vibe, and that's okay, yeah? With the left foot pointed, I want you to reach the hands towards the sky and send the tailbone towards the earth. Beautiful. Now we're going to floint, so just flex the toes. Nice. And then flex the entire foot. Now externally rotate the leg. And now floint the foot. And then point the foot. Now imagine there was a light going from your hip all the way up to your toes. Really extend the toes. Nice, and then floint. And then flex. And then bring it to parallel. And then floint. And then point. Nice. And from here, just feeling that energy once more. We're going to do the same thing in your own time. So moving through the flointing, the flexing, the rotation. And just feeling the articulation of the foot. Maybe it feels like something different for you. Maybe it's a crampy vibe. We're going to hold at the point. Now you're going to keep both legs locked straight. And then you're just going to lift your left leg as high as you can. Doesn't matter how high it goes. Just hold here for 3. Hold here for 2. And then pendulum swing the leg back. And get ready for a Trikonasana, triangle. So left toes diagonally forward, right toes directly forward. Reach through the right hand and take it down to the leg. So we're going to grab the leg. Yeah, so I really want you to grab the leg. Reach the left hand high. Dig the front heel and externally rotate the right thigh. Press into the ball of the back foot. Now try to lift and pull your right leg up. And notice what you feel in your body when you do that. Trying to lift the right foot. Obviously it's not going to. By pulling on the leg. Drawing the navel in towards the spine to protect the lower back, but then radiating through the chest and heart to open the upper spine. 2 breaths. Gaze comes down, bend your right knee a little bit, and just step your back foot in. Hands come to earth, Ardha Chandrasana, lift your left back. Nice. So in your half moon here, really want you to spark through the fingertips and the back foot. You have the option to stay here or to bend the back knee and to catch the foot. So this is not about doing the deepest back bend of your life, more about sending the tailbone back and down, bringing the weight into the heel, and then kicking the foot away so you open into the quadricep. Draw your shoulder blades towards one another, and then start to express the crown of the head towards the foot without changing the lower back. So if you're in Ardha Chandrasana, you're going to start to bend your knee. If you're in Shavasana, just draw your knees to touch. So we're all going to meet in standing quadricep stretch. Weight into your right heel, reach your right hand high. Bit of a weird transition. All right, beautiful. So from here, bring the back of your right hand to your tailbone and slide your tailbone down. Beautiful. I want you to move your left foot just slightly away from your glute and then release your left hand. Draw it to your hip. Draw your right hand to your hip. So you're trying to keep your foot where it is. You're using your hamstring. Draw your tailbone down, lift your crown high. And hold here. If you're cramping, then I'm totally with you. Try to keep your left thigh back. Squeeze your heel a little closer to your butt. And then release your foot down. Just give your handies a little rub. Alright, and then we're going to do a sissy squat transition. So step your feet back a little bit, hands to your hips. Not only for sissies, these squats are really strong, so I want you to bend your knees. They'll go forward of the feet. Now try to tuck your pelvis under with your glutes. Your heels will naturally lift, and you'll slowly bring the knees in the direction of the earth. When it feels like it's too much for you, just send your hips back a little bit. We're going to transition down onto our knees. So you might just sit your butt down. Lift yourself up like you're coming into a camel. And we're going to lean back. So send your tailbone down again, squeeze your glutes, reach your crown high. This is not a back bend. I repeat, this is not a back bend. So no bending through the lower back. I just want you to hinge through the legs as you tip the body back. Nice. So really tuck the pelvis under and then reach the crown of the head away. Only go to a degree where you can hold with a nice strong support through the legs. And we'll take 3 breaths. Lift yourself up. Fingertips to the ground. It's leg day. Squat. So your feet are quite close together, so maybe you need to widen your feet a little bit. I like to do this kind of monkey arm thing. Actually makes me feel like a monkey a little bit. So put my armpits on my kneecaps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, do you feel like a monkey? Yeah. It's the baboon vibes from us.
Monkey and magic.
So press your knees into your armpits and then draw your armpits back a little bit and notice how that creates space in your spine. Nice. And holding a passive range squat, super good for your hips and knees. Really, really good. For as long as possible. If you go to India, you'll notice most people do everything like this. No knee reconstructions in India. Well, I don't want to speak for the whole country. Okay, from here we're going to sit onto our butts. Navasana, a little break from the legs. Reach your heart high. Alrighty, beautiful. I want you to compress your thighs towards your chest. So it's not about a long shape, it's about a short shape. I want you to try and suffocate yourself with your own thighs. Suffocate yourself with your own thighs. Yeah, exactly. She's nailing it over there. Reach your heart high. Oh, what happened? It paused, but it's back.
That's okay.
Okay, suffocate yourself with your own thighs. Draw your hands to your hamstrings and we're going to rock forward and back. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, now try to keep that compression of the thighs towards the chest. And we're gonna rock up to an Utkatasana. So you might need to use your hands or you might just need to come out and step up when you're ready. My feet are quite separated here. Nice. Beautiful. Send your butt down. Now, we're just gonna try to access the legs in Utkatasana, yeah? We can do it for the upper back or we can do it for the legs. So let's do it for the legs. Sit your butt low. Imagine you are opening jars with your feet. So the ball of your foot moves out and the heel moves in. Yes. Now bring your butt further back so your knees are over your ankles. Nice. Now reach your arms high. Beautiful. Round your lower spine a little bit, just a little bit, and sit your butt further back. Nice. Reach your hands high. Beautiful. Come up to standing. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Step out to face the left. Goddess. All right, this is the last little thing that we're going to do for the legs on the first side. So bend into your knees. Beautiful. Put your hands on top of your thighs. Lean forward slightly and start to send your sit bones to the sky. And then bring them down and then to the sky. And then start twerking. I was like, is she gonna get it?
I was like,
what are we doing here?
am I really supposed to do this or are you making fun of me?
No. We're really supposed to be doing this. It's a part of the sequence. Bring your hands to heart and center. Just a little twerk. Sit low into your goddess. Yeah. Now we'll do the actual pose that I sequenced. Rise up onto your toes. Yeah, and then bend into your knees. Nice. Try to draw the heels towards one another and notice what you feel when that happens. Yeah. And then sit a little lower, reach the crown a little higher. 5 fierce breaths. Two more breaths. Last breath in. Lower the heels, cartwheel the hands towards the earth. Step back, plank pose. Alright. Lean forward, belly of the thighs lift. Heels reach back, chaturanga, your flow. So I notice after a leg flow when I do an up dog, it actually feels better. Feels real secure. Alrighty, just going to take a little jump forward, rise up onto toes, bend knees, look forward. Step or jump. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Just take a moment in Uttanasana. You can separate the feet if you'd like. Any variation. I like to have my hands on the ground and just do little pulses with my hands, and it kind of shakes my head a little bit. It's just like a vibration that reverberates through the spine. If you don't feel like your head's moving, then just relax your jaw and your neck. Alrighty, bend your knees, roll up through your spine. We'll do the second side. So, like I said at the beginning of the practice, this particular flow has really different transitions, and it's really important to be curious and playful and not to try to perfect them, because at the moment they're not perfect in my practice or body either. So it's very much a journey, yeah? So take a step back, hands reach towards the sky, point your right foot forward. So find extension in both of your legs by really lifting up through the hands, the crown of the head, and then pressing down through the foot. Really point all the way to the toes. Beautiful. Straighten the legs. And then you're going to floint the foot. So just flex the toes and then flex the foot. From the very top of the thigh, externally rotate. Beautiful. And then floint. And then point. Nice. Really extend all the way out through those toes. Chelsea's got nice dancer legs. She's like, there they are. Point your toes. Flex your foot. Bring it back to parallel. Again, point and point. And just move through one at your own pace. So really try to articulate through the entirety of the foot. It's kind of like the foot is growing out of the ankle and then retracting back into the ankle. And we'll meet with a pointed foot to the front, like there's a beam of light from your hip all the way out to the tip of your toe, and then start to reach your foot only as high as you can keep the legs straight. Hold for 3. Hold for 2, my little leggies are quivering. And then like a pendulum step back, Utthita Trikonasana, hands to shoulder height. Reach the left arm forward and grab your leg. Once you've grabbed onto your leg, press the left heel down, externally rotate the left thigh, press into the back foot. Now try to lift the leg by pulling it up towards the sky. Beautiful. Notice what happens in the body. Where do you need to support when you find this pull of the leg? For me, it's more the lower spine. Draw the navel in, open the heart. 2 breaths. Beautiful. Gaze comes down, bend the left knee a little bit. Step the right foot in. Ardha Chandrasana. So if you're staying here, really find that same alignment that you did in a triangle. Yeah, externally rotate the supporting leg, tailbone back, ignite the right thigh. If you're joining us, come to Shavasana, kick the heel towards the butt. And then rather than thinking about how can I get the greatest back bend here, I want you to think, how can I get the greatest quad stretch? Yeah? So bring the weight into the heel, externally rotate the left thigh. Draw the tailbone back, and then kick the foot into the hand. Retract the shoulder blades. So send the tailbone back, squeeze the little glutees, and kick the foot into the hand. Notice that you feel it more in the quadricep and the upper back. It's less of a back bend, more of a leg thing. Take a breath in. And then when you're ready, you're going to transition. This is a bit of a tricky transition. Knees to touch. Weight into the left heel. Stand on up. Oh. Yes. Alrighty, kick the heel towards the butt. You're in a quad stretch. Take the back of the left hand to the sacrum. Slide it down. So this is called the hammy cramper. Yeah? So we're going to try to keep the heel close to the butt. Release the foot. Release the foot. Right hand to hip, left hand to hip. Draw the tailbone down, lift the heart high, and just feel into all those crampy vibes. Make sure the right thigh is back, and the sit bone slides down. Just draw the heel a little bit closer towards the butt. Notice what happens. Hold for 3. Hold for 2. And step it down for 1. And again. Oh, my goodness. We both just want to go into a deep forward fold. We're going to come into a sissy squat transition. Be gentle with the knees, yeah? Bring your hands to your hips. Start to bend your knees. If you've never done a sissy squat before, welcome. Start to bend the knees, lift the heels, tuck the pelvis. Now try to lead with the frontal hips. That's the hard bit. So you feel it in the legs. Reach the crown back and away. Try to transition all the way to the knees. When you need to send the pelvis back, you send the pelvis back, drop the knees down, lift. We love a little knee cramp.
There's not a little one.
So you can stick with the first Ustrasana lean, or you can come into an Ustrasana through the lean, yeah? Tuck the pelvis under, lean back, yeah? You can bring the hands to the heels. I want you to make this a leg thing. So I want you to send the pelvis forward by squeezing the butt. Now hug the inner thighs together and send the inner upper thighs back. Now try to pull the heels away from one another, which will retract the shoulder blades, and then lift the chest up, keeping the chin towards the throat. Alrighty. Bit of a leg thing. Let's take 3 breaths. Last breath in. Find the legs again, lift yourself up. Hands to heart center, hands to earth squat. Either heels stay lifted or heels ground. Or if you're feeling like you have the space, draw the feet to touch and try to do a full malasana. This is the full expression of malasana. I can't really do it. My heels start really come down. But you can try with me. So if I reach my hands forward and try to get my heels down, I'm really teetering at the edge here. What a great word. Beautiful. Just allowing yourself to be in process, whatever variation of squat that your body is asking you for. Let the practice be the vehicle. Beautiful. And then lean back, Navasana. You can stay with the first variation we did, or hands to hamstrings. Now grow, like actually grow taller. Yeah. And then extend your legs. Stay here, or draw your thighs a little closer towards you, hands to your calves. All right, stay here, or release the hands towards the sky. Ooh. Yeah, compression, compression, 5 breaths. Two more breaths. Last breath. Hands to hamstrings, bend the knees. Make sure you have room behind you. Playful rocks. Makes me feel like a child again. Alrighty, when you're ready, rock yourself up to an Utkatasana. Beautiful. For this variation, take the right ankle atop the left thigh, figure 4. Now sit your butt back and down. Left hand to outer hip, draw it in. Right hand to right sit bone, lift it up. But we're going for less of a stretch and more of a working into the left leg. So I want you to sit the left cheek, down and back. Down and back. Down and back until you feel the quadriceps starting to burn. Draw the knee over the ankle. Sit the butt down and back. Yeah, so less about the stretch, more about the work in that left leg. Beautiful. From here, just lift up a little bit. Transition to the second side, reach the hands high. Left ankle crosses the right thigh. Right hand to right outer hip, left hand to left butt cheek. Sit the butt down and back. Draw the outer right hip into the midline. Lift the left sit bone up. Reach the heart forward. Now, try to bring it into the right leg. It's a little tough. If you try to sit the weight back, you'll find this little quivering spot. Did you find the quivering spot?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe my legs are just tired today. Hold here for 3. Hold here for 2. Beautiful, lift up a little bit. Ground the foot, reach the hands high, Utkatasana, fierce pose. Hands to heart center, stand up. Goddess, goddess. Step the right foot out. Hands to the top of the thighs. Sit the butt. Let's do some hip circles. So hip to the right, to the right. And just notice how it feels to circle your hips in this position. Actually feels nice for me.
Sexy.
Feels sexy, yeah. Maybe you get some spine involved. Let's go the other direction.
It actually feels really nice for the inner hip.
Yeah. A little release. Okay, so left center. Lift your hands to heart center. So imagine there was a rope dropping out of your butt and I was pulling that rope down. A rope reaching out of the crown of the head, I was pulling that rope up. Reach your hands towards the sky. Rise up onto the toes. Draw the heels in Notice what that does to the foot and to the legs. Sit the butt as low as you physically can go, even if it's below the line of the legs. Hug the heels in. Reach the hands high. Beautiful, straighten the legs, lower the heels, hands to earth, Rasarita. So the legs can have quite a visceral reaction within the body, so just taking a moment to soften. And when you're ready, we're going to transition into our final vinyasa, but take your time to do so. We're going to transition to seated. You can either jump, step, lower the knees, whatever you want. Option 1, Viparita Karani, legs and arms to sky. Option 2, Halasana, triceps to earth. Bring your legs overhead. Alrighty, so bring your chin gently away from your chest. And then press your shoulder heads down. So you feel your shoulder blades coming to the earth and your spine lift up off the earth. So in Halasana, we want to hold ourselves off the spine and onto the shoulder blades. See if you can soften the breath and just find a spaciousness at the chest. Bring your hands to your hips or like your side bodies, and then I want you to try to tuck through the lower spine. So usually we take majority of this through the upper spine. So I want you to come out slightly in the upper spine by pressing the feet down, and then use your thumbs to draw your navel in and really round through your pelvis as you bend your knees. Beautiful, release the lower spine, and then in your own time, very slowly roll down. Beautiful, reach your hands towards the back of the mat and your feet towards the front of the mat. And just slightly lift your chin so the throat is open. Take 3 breaths into the front of your throat. And release your arms down. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a gentle hug. Pelvis over towards the left. Knees fall over towards the right. Simple twist. Any variation of the twist that feels good for you. So just notice what you feel in the spine. Very often there can be a disconnect between the legs and the spine. The legs can end up just becoming a little bit lazy. And then that was my kind of go-to for a very long time. And then in that case, the spine does a lot of the work. So we're trying to connect the two. Draw the legs back to the center. Just plant the feet down, just lift the pelvis for a second, just to neutralize the spine. Knees back into the chest, pelvis slightly over to the right, legs forward to the left, find your twist. Today's sequence also purposely had no peak, no goal. No focal point. We were just working into the legs with a sense of curiosity. So I want you to notice, do you feel as motivated when there isn't a goal? When there isn't something to achieve? When you're just doing the practice to be in process? And sometimes the motivation is a little less, and that's something to notice, something to become aware of. Gently drawing your legs back to the midline. Then coming to a happy baby, just to stretch out the hips and the legs, just. And take a gentle rock. And massaging the lower back. Just hold here for 5 breaths. And when you're ready, slowly transitioning into Shavasana. Taking your time to make any final preparations. And in Shavasana today, I'm going to give you a question for examination. Or rather, a mantra. Something that you're going to say, and then you're just going to notice what comes to the surface as you say it. As you settle into stillness, just finding a position of relative comfort and ease. First question for examination. What is my relationship with stillness? What is my relationship with stillness? Not looking for a particular answer, but just noticing what rises to the surface. Second question. Am I motivated when my actions have no goal? Am I motivated when my actions have no goal? Perhaps when you do something just for joy, for yourself. And the final mantra I want you to adopt for the duration of Shavasana: I am irrelevant. And I just want you to notice, with that mantra, what you feel. If there's a tightening, a clenching, a resistance. I am irrelevant. Basking in the nothingness of your Shavasana. Hold here for as long as feels right for you.